Crosby gets him again. Intercepted. William Thomas.
The Raymond Chester. He could go all the way.
Harbaugh didn't have a chance.
You said, do you believe the Raiders can make the playoffs? I'm Renah, and today on Raiders Today, we're going to break down everything that happened after their thrilling 26-23 win over the Baltimore Ravens. This is a pivotal moment for the team, which is now recovering from a turbulent start and, under the leadership of Antonio Pierce, is starting to show that it can surprise this season. We'll explore what made this team come alive in the fourth quarter and discuss the hottest topics about the team's future. Is this one a sign that the Raiders are ready to go far? Or are we still deluding ourselves? On today's show, we answer these questions with an in-depth analysis of the key developments and predictions about the Raiders' performance. Do you think the Raiders will make the playoffs? Comment below, like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Raiders news and updates on the silver and black. Intro. Can the Raiders really make the playoffs? After a dramatic game against the Baltimore Ravens, where the team showed a spectacular comeback in the fourth quarter, many fans are wondering if this performance is a sign of a bright future or just an exception. What is clear is that coach Antonio Pierce managed to light a fire in the team, and quarterback Gardner Minshew, despite ups and downs, was essential in turning the game around. The truth is that the trajectory so far has been full of surprises. In the first 7 quarters of football, the Raiders looked far from being a playoff-caliber team. But, as we have seen, the NFL can change drastically with the snap of a finger. In a matter of minutes, the team that seemed defeated rose from the ashes and pulled out a victory that could change the course of the season. And if they continue to play like they did in the last quarter against the Ravens, we are not just talking about the playoffs. We are talking about a possible title contender. And now, with a victory in the bag and a team with confidence, the big question remains: what will the future hold for the Raiders? Let's delve into the biggest questions of this season and understand what this victory means for the team's future. Don't forget, this is Raiders News, the place to find everything about your favorite team. 1. A rocky but promising start. The Raiders got off to a rocky start to the season. Through the first 7 quarters, the team looked disconnected, lacking the spark and drive needed to face strong teams like the Baltimore Ravens. The defense struggled to contain the opposing offense, while the offense looked uncoordinated and lacking creativity. However, one thing was clear: this team was not willing to give up. Under the new leadership of Antonio Pierce, we saw a spirit of resilience that seemed to have disappeared in previous seasons. The coach brought a new mentality to the team, based on mutual trust and a deep belief in the team's potential. The comeback against the Ravens was the turning point that fans needed. In the fourth quarter, the Raiders' offense finally found its rhythm, and the team showed that, when well coordinated, it can be a force to be reckoned with. This victory may be the start of something bigger, but there is still a lot to be proven. 2. Antonio Pierce's confidence since taking over as coach. Antonio Pierce has demonstrated a unique and motivating approach. More than tactics and schemes, Pierce has brought a new energy to the Raiders' locker room. His unwavering belief in his players, even in the most difficult moments, was key to the comeback against the Ravens. In the post-game, Pierce was clear: he believes in this team, and that's all that matters. His approach has been that of someone who knows how to get the best out of his players, even when things seem impossible. And the game against Baltimore proved just that: a team that never gave up, even when defeat seemed imminent. That confidence was reflected on the field. Maxx Crosby, Gardner Minshew, and other key players answered their coach's call and played with everything they had. Now the big question is, will that never-give-up mentality be enough to carry the Raiders to the playoffs? Pierce certainly believes so. 3. Gardner Minshew. The heart of the team. Gardner Minshew may not be the most talented quarterback in the NFL, but he has something that many players don't: heart. His performance against the Ravens was a clear reflection of his determination. Although he started the game with some issues, including a troubling interception, he didn't let that get to him. The conversation Maxx Crosby had with Minshew at halftime was a pivotal moment in the quarterback's second-half performance. The moment Crosby pulled him by the jersey and spoke directly to his chest seemed to rekindle the flame of confidence in Minshew. And from that moment on, we saw a renewed, more confident and determined player. The question now is, Could Minshew be the right man to lead the Raiders? After the fourth quarter performance, many fans believe so. With a coach like Pierce and players like Crosby believing in him, Minshew could very well be the missing piece that this team needs to take a step forward. 4. Raiders offense reborn. One of the highlights of the win was the Raiders' offense's revival. For most of the game, the offense seemed stuck, unable to consistently get going against the Ravens' stout defense. However, everything changed in the fourth quarter. Minshew started throwing longer passes, and the offense's confidence grew. Offensive coordinator Luke Getsy also deserves credit for this turnaround. For 7 quarters of football, he was criticized for conservative and predictable calls. But in the fourth quarter, he finally took a risk, allowing Minshew to explore bolder and more effective plays. And it worked. Now, the Raiders need to keep this offensive dynamic going in the upcoming games. The ability to score quickly and decisively will be crucial if the team wants to keep its playoff chances alive. The fourth quarter against the Ravens showed what this offense can do when it's at its best. Conclusion: is the future bright? The win against the Baltimore Ravens was a turning point for the Raiders. But can this performance be maintained? With the leadership of Antonio Pierce, the heart of Gardner Minshew, and the defense led by Max Crosby, the team seems to have the necessary ingredients to make a run at the playoffs. Now, the question is to maintain consistency. If the offense continues to evolve and the offensive line addresses its flaws, the Raiders have a real chance to surprise. But how do you feel about this? Leave your opinion in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news from Raiders Today and the latest updates from Raiders News. Until next time,